are going to create and merge a conflict and practice doing that here in GitHub and in RStudio. So I have here the Taylor Codebook repository. I have created a main branch and a Var's working branch, which is just kind of working variables. I'm going to make some changes here. Now, if I have both of these, say I have both of these on my local repository, and what I am going to do is make some changes in the Var's working branch in this document, in this particular QMD file. So I notice here that weather should be weather, and I had this tempo score, and I actually wanted to say I don't want this tempo score as a variable. I'm going to call it instead the acoustic score. I think that is what I want to be my variable, not the tempo score. Great. Okay, so let's save in my local repository of this Var's working branch. I'm going to then go ahead and commit that. And I'm just going to say changes to the derived Var's file. Great. Let's push it. Okay. Now, this had a recent push, and now I might be ready to have a pull request where I pull this back in to my main branch. So let's do it. Alright, so this is able to merge because I just have new additions that I made in this derived variables QMD file. But let's create something that is going to be a little bit harder. So I'm going to go back, and this time let me go to my main branch. Great. And now you can see I still have the tempo score here, and I have this here, and I'm going to overwrite exactly on this tempo score instead of tempo score or acoustic score. Let's talk about the loudness score. Okay, so now I have this stage. Let me go ahead and commit. And push. So now the main branch has just had a recent push, okay? And it says that the variables working branch also had a recent push. So now let's compare and see how the pull request goes. So now we are getting that we cannot automatically merge. And that is because I made changes to that same file in the main branch that I made changes to in the variables working branch, and now those two files are in conflict with one another. So let's figure out how to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and try to create that pull request, but then we're going to have to do something a little bit more in-depth in order to resolve the conflict. So it says it has conflicts that must be resolved. I can do this on the web editor or on the command line. So let's go into the resolve conflicts and see what happens. Okay, so here's where we see the conflict showing up. We have these, these backticks here that indicate this is the beginning of the conflict, and over here this is the end. This is from the Var's working branch. We have the Var's working branch says it's an acoustic score that we want next, but the main branch has the loudness score that was added. So say I want to use the Vera's working branch, I'm going to delete this part, delete the middle stuff, and then delete this last stuff because we really want the acoustic score, and then of course take the Vera's working at. Now we have what is essentially all of what was done in the just that Vera's working branch, and this is what we want to keep. So I'm good with that. Let's mark it as resolved. Now we can commit the merge. And then going back here, it's going to check again for ability to merge. Now we're good. And we can merge that pull request. So let's confirm. And we are merged. You can notice it says you can also, now that this branch has been successfully merged and closed, you can keep that branch open, or we can delete the branch. So since that's already been done, I'm going to say, all right, I don't need this branch anymore. Let me go ahead and delete it. All right. So now going back to the code book, we should have just that main branch, no others, everything's merged, and we are good.